So you know that EDRLab tries to be a small help in these great dreams. So we are an association, 85 members so far. And we are also a team, so I will, go through our team. You see their face, they are in the room today. The core team is Gauthier, Daniel, Pierre, Arthur, who is trying to move one by one, the slides. Priyanka has joined us 2 months ago now, I think, three months ago, to be the new LCP product owner. So she is focusing on the development of LCP. To go back, so Gauthier is our accessibility expert. So he deals with all the projects we've got around accessibility in a transverse manner. Daniel is our lead developer, very senior developer, wonderful developer, and lead developer of Thorium Reader, especially. Pierre and Arthur are also developers on Thorium Reader and other projects, computer projects. And so Priyanka, I spoke about Priyanka, and Marie-Laurence also joined us last year and deals with everything about communication, membership. She helps us a lot developing EDRLab as an association. Plus, we've got other people who are consultants and who come. Mylène, Marion, Fred, Aferdita. So Mylène is a UX designer, and she is the one who made the UX and UI design of Thorium Reader, the new version, the version 3, that will be presented today. Marion is an illustrator. Fred is also in the room. He is developing with me at the moment a project that we won't speak about this year, but next year we will speak about because it will be ready. Which has to do with the LCP and subscription models. And Aferdita is helping us on everything about the LCP libraries to develop LCP libraries for client software and deliver them to clients. So this is a small team still, and we try to do a lot. So before I go through the different projects, we have 4 pillars at EDRLab. One is working on open standards. So we are a member of the W3C. We are working inside ISO, the International Standardization Organization, essentially for LCP. And also we look at EPUB archive. We are also working on open source, lots of open source. So we will speak about some today. About protection of content, the LCP DRM, and about accessibility. So 4 pillars to be strong and to, well, avoid forgetting something on the road. So you see that we've got liaison with the W3C, ISO, the Readium Foundation, and the DAISY Consortium. Quick look at our current projects. So at the moment, we deal with a project on accessibility inside the W3C, the accessibility guidelines. Very important because, especially because of the AAA coming. The core issue is that metadata, accessibility metadata that publishers have to put inside their ONIX files are not human readable, are not good for humans who want to choose a book they would like to read. So we need to convert this very technical information to something good to read. And we work with the DAISY Consortium and other W3C members to make this conversion, and this conversion will have to be applied, we would like it to be applied by every bookseller, every public library who is listing books and allowing search in their catalog, so that somebody says, I need a book, but I filter by something that fits my needs. We also have another project inside the W3C, which is called TDM Reservation Protocol, which is also important at the time of the rise of AI. The issue is that in Europe, there is an exception to the copyright, which is for TDM, text and data mining actors, who can mine content on the web freely, unless publishers, so content owners on the web, raise a flag. So say explicitly in a machine-readable way, please don't use my content. It's more than please, say don't use my content. So this directive, this law, exists since 2019, but so far nobody was so interested in this until the AI actors, OpenAI and the others, came to the loop and mined a gigantic mass of content. So now publishers are working, and we have a solution for that, working on establishing a standard for expressing their exception to the exception, in fact. So to say exactly, I don't want you to mine this. So this specification is online, it's ready, it's adopted, especially in France, starting in Italy, starting in other countries. It's applicable to AI actors. Now the issue is adoption. Every publisher should adopt it. And adoption by AI actors who at the time, are not so in a hurry to adopt it. We've got also a standardization project at ISO, so LCP. I'm very happy to say that the LCP DRM will become an international standard at ISO in June. So Tae-Yoon Kim, who is co-editor of the specification with me, is in the room. And I want to thank Tae-Yoon for all the work he has done to make sure that LCP becomes an international standard. It will be the first and maybe only DRM becoming such a standard at ISO. Other projects which is interesting, but we will speak about it today. We have a session for that. ABELab with the Kibi Netherlands, with the LIA Foundation and EDRLab, which is about the backlist Georges was talking about just before. The project is to study what are the issues with books that could be solved in an easy way to make them accessible. So all these books from the year 2000 to now, which are not made accessible by publishers because they didn't know how to do it at the time. But we would like to remediate them as automatically as possible. So we have to find what are the usual problems and try to find a way to solve them. Some maybe with AI. Then we've got a new project, a European project called ThinkPub. It's a Creative Europe project also. And then we have 12 partners with that. We are not the leader of this project. It's Beletrina, who is the leader in Slovenia. And Marco is in the room, the CTO of Beletrina, and we'll have a session just after me about implementing Readium LCP. So Beletrina is leading this ThinkPub project, and the goal of the project is to, in fact, teach publishers who need more information about innovation in the publishing landscape. So it's not about only technical innovation, it's about marketing, managerial innovation, everything that has to do with the introduction of digital, ways of solving things in the new world. But it's not finished. We deal with a lot of things. We deal with the Readium project. So Readium project is led by the Readium Foundation. It's an open source project for creating SDKs or toolkits. So pieces of open source software that help developers making good reading systems that are interoperable, that show the same content the same way, be it on a mobile, on the desktop application like Thorium, or on the web. So there are different flavors of Readium. It's a mature project on some parts, mobile, desktop, less mature on the web. And we hope that we will be one of the major SDK on the market. And in fact, we are the only major SDK on the market which is open source. There are good commercial open systems also, but no, not open source. Thorium Reader. Thorium Reader will be presented by Daniel today. It's an evolution of the version 2 of Thorium Reader. Thorium Reader, as George says, is a desktop application which is highly accessible, which is also capable of reading not only EPUB but also PDF, audiobooks, comics, which is localized in now 25 languages, I guess. We've got a good community of people who accept to translate the interface. So the next version, for example, will be also in Arabic. Very interesting project which takes us a lot of, load. LCP, we will talk about that also. It's not a stable project because something that doesn't move in the digital era dies. So we have evolutions of LCP that I will present a bit later. The subscription manager that we won't present today, so we will present it next year. New project, open source, for people who want to manage licenses and protection of their content, but deal with subscription models that can be complex, especially in the education domain. So we will help them with an open source server. Qualebook, also a new project. It's a project led by the French Association of Publishers, and we participate to that. It's a repository of best practices, about the quality of ebooks. And quality of ebooks is a sort of superset of accessibility, in fact. Lis mon livre also is, so it's a French name this time. It's, for me, a very interesting project for accessibility. The goal is to provide a way to access libraries, big catalogs of audiobooks from voice. Ask the system, read me this book, and have it automatically read. It's useful for a certain category of population, essentially the old people who are totally unable to manipulate a mobile device or a desktop application with a keyboard. They want something really simple. They are not able to read anymore. So for them, it's a solution. This project has already two big partners. One is Association Valentin Haüy, ABH, and people from ABH are in the room today. And Sila in Canada. Sila is the equivalent of the Association Valentin Haüy in Canada, and also provides books for the blind. And they've got a huge catalog of audiobooks, 60,000, and they wanted to give access to them to, elder people. So this is a way we have developed an Alexa skill, because this is the only technology available at the moment, and we will, if we find other ways to access by voice a catalog, we will make evolutions of that. And the last one is Lina 25. Lina 25 is a simple project. It's a sort of central point of information about everything that has to do with accessibility for professionals. So there are sections, and each section is about what somebody from one profession in the publishing industry needs to know about accessibility. Because we found that the information was scattered between multiple sources. It was very difficult for people to know what they should know. And so we have a central point here, an entry point, and we make evolutions of that. It's in French only at the moment, because we had a grant to do it in French. So, next. Coming today, yes, there will be some details on some of these projects. Essentially, just after me, Marco will give feedback from an integrator of some of these projects, Readium and LCP. You will have lots of information about the European Accessibility Act, which is coming, and information about reading information. But also today we are in face-to-face, we are together, because it's an opportunity for you to talk together between the different companies, different countries. You all have wonderful innovations in the different countries. Here we've got people from the whole Europe, from the US, from Canada, from Brazil, from, all the countries that are interested in digital publishing and accessibility are there. So don't hesitate to talk together. We won't have a coffee break in the morning, but you can take a coffee whenever you want. We will have a long lunch, French lunch, I would say. It's always long. So you can have a good discussion. And after the last session at 5:30, we will have a cocktail when you can also discuss all together. And if you want to meet somebody, just come to me to introduce. Et voilà. Before I give the floor, I want to thank the sponsors of this event. The Readium Foundation is a sponsor. The Sophia in France, the Fondazione Elia for the project Aldus Up, the CFC in France also, which is you can read about the CFC here. It's a collective rights management organization. Hachette Livre, Eden Livre, and De Marque. So thank you to all the sponsors for this event. And I give now the floor to our next guest, which is Marco.